Now, to take these rules and apply them to a manual labor job is a little more complicated than your average desk worker. The physical demands of their job vary widely, from welders to line workers to painters. Each of them will have these ergonomic laws be applied in different ways, so it's important to learn how to adapt your work habits to protect your body. Our first rule, keep your body in neutral positions, is important to our manual labor workers because of the dynamic nature of their jobs. Start up at your head and check to make sure that you are square with your task. What that means is that we're not turning our head for prolonged periods of time. Next, check on your torso to ensure that we don't have to reach and twist to complete our tasks. In small amounts, this may not affect you, but with repetition, it can lead to imbalances in our musculature and joints. And finally, look at your hips to make sure that you are squaring up so we aren't putting extra pressure on our hips and low back. Our next rule, avoid pressure points, requires you to evaluate your day and avoid putting pressure through your joints on harder surfaces. This could mean leaning on your elbows as you work on a smaller object, or reducing the pressure that your feet are taking walking on cement all day. There are a number of ways to reduce pressure points. You can redesign the task so that it doesn't require those movements, or insert padding over surfaces to insulate your joints. An example of this would be extra padding in the soles of your shoes to protect your feet. Now, avoiding using excessive force can be a harder rule when you want to get your tasks done efficiently. But more important than speed is the effectiveness in which you complete your task and protect your body. Lifting and moving heavier objects should be assisted with dollies or coworkers. Other examples could be ensuring rusty bolts are replaced with fresh bolts. Rusty bolts take more force and time to remove, while a fresh bolt would be easier and quicker and less pressure on the wrist. Another example is adding grips to reduce how much you need to grasp something. To have a good grip, when we exert excessive force, we lose the ability to control our muscles accurately, increasing the chance of injury. Our fourth rule is to work in your power zone. Working in your power zone is important to avoid putting your muscles and joints in compromised positions. Your power zone is comparable to a strike zone, from mid-thigh to mid-chest, close to your body, and when lifting and carrying objects, keep them in this area. Also, when you're doing a task, keep it close to you so that you have the leverage needed to avoid overexerting yourself. Our final rule to avoid injury while working is to avoid static positions and repetitive motions. This can be difficult for our blue-collar workers. A great example is our painters. For their job, they need to be in awkward positions that need to hold for long periods. The solution is to square up to your work so you aren't twisted, following our first rule, and then take periodic breaks, at least every hour, to stretch your body in the opposite direction. That means if you're stooped forward, lean back. Same goes for the repetitive motions. Take a break every hour and do the opposite motion. If you'd like to stay up to date with more content on keeping your body healthy and pain-free, subscribe to our channel. Have a good day.